Oh my gosh, good morning. We're recording this at 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning. If that's not commitment, then I don't know what is. Thank you for coming in, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But Gen Con's coming up, and at least one of us are going. So we kind of have to, get ahead.
Right. So what are we doing? Are we just I don't even know.
We're going to have fun together.
Yeah. Usually I have a whole day to figure out where we're at. Now I'm just
right.
I'm on the spot.
Yeah. It's like usually I'm recapping in my head at lunch. Okay, what are we going to do today? And now I'm like, oh, fuck. Roll20's open. I'm staring at this screen and I don't know what any of these words mean.
Okay. Well, now you might notice that I kind of did a little bit of a refurbish on the Stolen Lands map. Did you see I made the little check marks for reconnoitered hexes smaller? I do understand that they're kind of hard to see in the foresty hexes. So, you just have to kind of look hard. But, but it looks like I missed one. Oh, look at that. But in any event, I think this looks a lot more readable. And I've also put some tags on the map with some of your more important destinations. We got like the Snickerdoodle Kobold Cavern, Fort Trand is on there, the Temple of the Elk, Oleg's Hex is now a little bit more clearly marked, and Boken's. I just thought that this would look a little bit better and be a little bit more useful to you guys.
We've covered some ground in 50 episodes. My goodness. There's a lot of stories here.
Yeah, for folks who are listening who have the map of the Stolen Lands, I think all but one hex in the Rossland hinterlands have been searched. I think all but 3 hexes in the Greenbelt. And, they're starting to get into the Tuskwater region, too, which, of course, houses the Tuskwater Lake, which Fort Trand is built upon. So Tuskwater is still mostly unexplored. And then, you guys are, I was sitting here last night kind of prepping a little bit and looking around and kind of poking around and thinking about the module. And I was mousing over all of these little destinations you guys have been to and just kind of going, my gosh, you've kind of done a lot of stuff. It's kind of cool.
I'm just trying to figure out, going over my notes, what our next plan is. We have multiple choices of where we could go.
Yeah. Well, you're at Boken's hut right now. And of course, a real intense conversation with Boken last episode where I think Boken talked a lot about his heyday. He was in an adventuring party with Nugra, Marsh, and Horst, and the challenges that they faced. And, aside from that, I think you've got a couple adventure threads. For example, that there's a troll named Hargulka out there somewhere that's trying to recruit some kind of army. Ikendeo is kind of searching for him or her. And, God, what else? What other threads do you have? I can't even remember.
Go find Mitch's father, I think we were talking about. Chuck.
Yeah, kind of follow that story chain a little bit. Go see if old Chuck is doing all right. Well, we sent a courier to Jumanji just to check in, see if they've got any information on how the other party is doing.
We should swing by Oleg since we're in the neighborhood just to see what's cracking.
Actually, we're not too far from there, are we?
Now we're 2 X's away.
Get some pie.
Yep.
There you go.
I do like pie. I just want to say for the record that Dry is not a fan of any of these people that we're meeting right now.
Oh.
He doesn't like Nugra.
Oh. Okay.
Well, it's understandable. The hatred for Nugra is... Yeah.
He's not a fan of Boken's.
Oh.
Why do you like Boken?
I just don't like him.
You don't like old people, do you? Why do you hate old people?
Because I'm oldest. Is that a thing?
Yes.
Yep. If you're over 40 plus, a protected class.
We've got some protected class members in this party.
Yeah, we do. It's a sanctuary.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of them. Like it's not an open hatred. It's just like I could do without them in my life and it wouldn't bother me. How's that?
Has Dry met anyone he likes?
I like you guys. See, that's all that really matters.
That's good. What are we looking like on our calendar? Like, do we need to, do we have like a little bit of a ticking time bomb scenario with the king?
Yeah, if we're talking about Serios, we'll call it a condition. We have about 3 weeks until that happens again.
Okay.
With your horses, it looks like you could make Oleg's in a day's travel.
Oh.
You got 2 travel activities.
I suppose if we know where we're going.
And then, as far as Oleg's back down to Fort Trand, 1, 2, 3, 4. You could make Fort Trand as a 2.5 day trip.
Oh, perfect.
So
we got plenty of time.
Getting these horses and getting 2 travel activities a day has really kind of been a game changer. These guys are just like riding around now.
Well, we don't need to go to, Jumanji for anything, do we? We're not too far from there. Well, yeah, that'd be extending the trip. Never mind. Okay.
Fine. So you guys are thinking you might drop by Oleg's and just see what's cracking over there. Might be a good chance to resupply, get the lay of the land, figure out what's going on. Yeah, I don't know. Sounds good to me.
Let's do it.
All right. Now, I think it's late afternoon at this point, so it's probably a good idea to try to find somewhere to, camp or something like that nearby. But basically, Boken's attitude is like, leave me now.
I suppose, kind of talking more about future plans, we need to go track down that wolfsbane that he mentioned.
Yeah.
That was in the Oak-Tongue area, right?
Right. Yeah. You need wolfsbane because Boken can create a serum for Sirio to take.
Right.
To stave off the lycanthropy. And, yeah.
Well, let's go to Oleg's.
Yep.
Okay, so here's the question. Do we have time to explore these 3 hexes over here?
In the Greenbelt?
Yeah, these 3 right here.
Oh, yeah, we do. Totally.
Before, go back to Fort Tran and then go get the Wolfsbane.
Yeah, come to Fort Trans through the west side of the Tuskwater, too. That would be those hooks.
So you want to pick up some of these unsearched hex in the western Greenbelt and western Tuskwater, and then hook back up to Fort Trent at that point.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, and then go after... Do we go after Boken or do we go after... I think the Wolfsbane's the priority.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, Mitch would not say so, but me, the player, says yes.
All you know is that Wolfsbane might be in dark areas in the southern Stolen Lands, is what Boken has told you.
Okay.
But you don't have a location in mind as to where you might find it.
Here's a question. Our next Kingdom turn, can't we send an exploratory party out to go find it?
Sure.
Like, because he gave us he gave us a destination, right?
Just a region. No, not like...
okay. Because, remember how we sent those guys to look at the tomb and then they came back and then we went?
Yeah. You had a specific destination in mind for them.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, gosh. I think that, the Rossland hinterlands, you guys could roll any number of random encounters here, and they would not matter to you, being level 4 dudes in a level 1 zone. So I'll say that you guys critically fail your campsite finding check, but it doesn't matter. And it just reminds you of Bashktran.
Right? Bring back some memories.
Yeah, actually, I bet we're traveling through areas that we camped at with him right now.
Probably.
There's probably a little bit of sadness, yeah.
Probably a little bit of his food left, too.
Yeah, this is a region you're highly familiar with. And really, I know that we, in the narrative, we dropped by Oleg's, to return Oleg to Svetlana after he was kidnapped by the Stag Lord and stuff, but we really haven't spent a lot of time in the Rossland hinterlands in Book 2. So I'm kind of liking it here. This is a bit more arid, more plainsy. There's not a lot of rivers nearby. And there is some infrastructure from Brevoy. Like, for example, that, 6-7 miles north of you is a road. Now, doesn't really matter from a game mechanic standpoint. But yeah, you camp, you wake up bright and early the next morning, and, over the next 8 or so hours of travel, you think you could make Oleg's, again, by the late afternoon on the next day. What do you do?
Yep.
Giddy up.
Let's go.
Anyone got the coconuts, or clink some dice together to make here, let me try. Do you guys know I'm a Foley?
Oh, that's really good. It's like a sped-up horse trot.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right, so we need you to do the canter and the trot and then the gallop.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. So we make it to Oleg's.
So we're at Oleg's.
I follow instructions. Okay. Oleg's. Hey, you want to go to the Oleg's map? Here we go.
Bob, Rob, and Todd are still there. Thought we had them executed.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm sorry. All these NPCs on I haven't maintained this map in a long time here. Let me,
look at that. Hoot still has 2 legs in this map.
That's fucking great. I'm going to retire Hoot for a badger.
What was the lieutenant's name from the Stag Lord camp? Akiros, that's right.
Akiros.
He's here, isn't he?
I think Akiros and Mabel the Bandit were
extradited.
Both. I think we talked about this, although I don't know that we talked about it on the air, but I think Akiros, the surviving lieutenant of the Stag Lord, and Mabel the Bandit, all the way from episode 8 or whatever, were taken back to Fort Trant and are prisoners there. And probably were sitting there in the jail when Siri became a werewolf. No, I'm just kidding. Bob, Rob, and Todd, meanwhile, I think you guys had some concern, You might recall that they were the Brevin soldiers working for Keston Garrus, who turned on Lindsay the Bard, who, by the way, Lindsay's with you right now. I don't know if you guys remember that or not, but Lindsay's actually traveling with you. You were concerned that they have Brevin citizenship, and so you weren't quite sure what to do, and so you left them at Oleg's held. In any event, as you walk into Oleg's, you see some familiar faces. I mean, Oleg is here. He looks like he's pretty well recovered, but he's moving a lot slower than he did, when you knew him before. And you can see some evidence that he's not quite maintaining the area as well as he used to, but it's still fine. It's just that, there's a little bit of thatch coming off one of the roofs, and you think that's a little odd. Svetlana's doing fine. She's happy, she's making pie because that's what she likes to do. God, what the hell is the name of the other guy? Oh yeah, Jod Kavkin's here. He's like, hello, and everyone's really happy. It's a nice reunion. You haven't been here in months. And Keston Garrus is here. He approaches you immediately as you come in. He's like, well, hello, guys. It's me. You guys remember me? My name's Keston. What's happening? I'm so happy to see you guys. I can't believe it's been so long, and I'm so bored here at this damn trade post. Holy shnikes.
Keston, you're bored? How can you get bored when you're just looking at yourself in the mirror all day?
Well, I've memorized the contours of my face, and now I'm watching them change over time.
It's a pity that jaw injury didn't heal that well, huh? A little crooked now. It's too bad.
Well, no, what are you talking about, you son of a gun? I look great.
So, do have a question about your boys there. Did we get anything back about kind of their status? They're on the stolen lands. They're not in their home. Can we pass judgment on them without upsetting the other king?
We received word back from Brevoy on what's happened to Bob, Rob, and Todd. Look, the crime, or rather the attempted crime, did not occur in Brevoy, and it did not occur in any lands that you control. It occurred in a territory controlled by Oleg and Svetlana, so the answer appears to be, from a legal standpoint, that Oleg and Svetlana possess the authority to decide what's to be done with these three men. So that's really all there is to it there, fellas. So they're being held right now. And Oleg's deciding, I suppose, when he's ready, he's going to decide what to do. I don't particularly think that Oleg and Svetlana are interested in executing these three guys here at their trade post. So it may just be that they are held here indefinitely.
Mm-hmm. It's a permanent fixture.
They'll just become indentured servitudes.
Yeah, but have you met my I got three new soldiers that came from Brevoy to help me. Their names are Tim, Jim, and Rim.
Rim. Wow. Really?
Rim.
Yeah, it's short for Rimford.
I'm trying to tell you what it's short for.
What's Rim's job?
Oh, no.
Cleaning. He's there for cleaning.
God, no, stop it. Okay. They may look mechanically similar and have similar features to Bob, Rob, and Todd, but I assure you they're highly different from a conceptual standpoint.
Completely distinct characters is what you're saying.
Right.
Regardless of their appearance? Okay.
Yeah.
Did he just give Bob, Rob, and Todd new shirts?
He did.
Well, no, I took the shirts off of Bob, Rob, and Todd and gave them to Jim, Tim, and Rim.
Oh, gotcha.
Somebody got the wrong letter. Looks like maybe Bob and Jim are confused on what letters they should have.
Right. We'll work on that. Look, fellas, I sure am glad to see you. What brings you here?
Just stopping by on our way through.
You heard any rumors?
Figured we'd say hello, see how you guys were.
Rumors.
Yeah, you heard any rumors? How's it going? How's Fort Trant going anyway? What's new with you guys? What's new?
Highly successful. It's an amazing place. Really nice. Like no violent circumstances with shape-changing individuals.
Well, that's good.
Never have any problems with witches or cults in basements. That's just not something that happens in our town.
Mitchell may have discovered some new family he didn't know he had.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Yeah.
How long... Actually, good question. How long has Oleg's trading post been here?
I think that they established themselves 2 to 3 years before the Stag Lord began messing with them, and then they lived under sort of the pressure from the Stag Lord for about 6 months before you came through and freed them of that.
Gotcha.
So sort of a short-term thing, all things considered. But, you might recall their history is that they wanted a fresh start. They wanted something more rural. They didn't want to live in kind of this urban city center in Brevoy, so they came out here to kind of get away from it all.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess not a lot going on. There's plenty of going on in Shrikehaven, but anything new in these parts of the woods?
No, I got nothing new here, but we have received some reports down south that here, let me show you the map. Hang on here. And he kind of sits down at the picnic table with you guys, and you guys roll out your map of the stolen lands together. And he's like, okay, so it looks to me like, okay, so I see where you guys plot Fort Tran here on the northern banks of the Tuskwater. There's some rumor or some awareness that there's a community of lizard folk a few miles south of you guys, near the southern Tuskwater. And we've received some reports recently that these lizard folk, I would say much like the Snickerdoodle kobolds, have been acting, I'd say, out of character. They were at one point a peaceful community kept to themselves. In fact, you wouldn't see hide nor hair of them for months or even years at a time. But there's some thought now to the unfortunate reality that they've been expanding, becoming violent, giving people all kinds of trouble. And it's possible that there are some missing people around them too. So if I'm you fellas, I might check that out. He gives you a location. He says, well, I don't know, dudes. Now, I'd be happy to accompany you if you'd like.
Yeah, they seem pretty close by, so I think we should be able to take care of it. Do you got any names of leaders or any important figures, or just generic lizard folk?
The lizard folk are led by their king, whose name is Veskit, King Veskit. And he's ruled that small community for many years.
He calls himself a king, huh?
Well, I suppose so.
Well, looking at the map here, you've marked something that's in the Comlands or the
Camelands.
Camelands?
Yeah, the Camelands are a region that kind of encircles Tuskwater to the south.
It's a pretty big
Yeah,
region.
it is kind of expansive, but it's not technically. I mean, if he's got a kingdom there, he's more of a neighbor than not. Or is like
correct. I mean,
Looks like open real estate to me.
now, there's lots of rumors of strange things that happen around in that area, unexplained lights and weird flashes all around that region.
Huh?
It might be something worth checking out.
Fireworks.
You're right. Now fireworks are only legal for the week preceding a big holiday, but these guys, they're breaking the city ordinance and shooting off their light shows all the time.
How do you get all this information all the way up here?
I don't know.
Okay. Good talk.
Hey, no. Let me answer that for real.
Okay.
Well, fellas, you know that I have connections back to Brevoy, and Brevoy has people that troll these lands all the time.
Any of your connections have any idea how the other parties are doing? The other expeditions? Have you heard word?
The Iron Wraiths have been, I think incommunicado is the wrong word, but they haven't been updating the way that they should. So there's some concern perhaps about them. Not that they've met any danger, but rather that they're just simply ignoring the mission and doing what they want to do. Hannes Drelev's party appears to be fine, as does Mayor Varn's party. They're just living, working, establishing their own settlements and expanding their power. Again, it's sort of strange. No one has faced the type of challenges that you guys faced when you took over your area.
All right, well.
Well, do we want to take the long way down to explore this issue with the lizard folks, I suppose, and go through the Greenbelt and hit a couple of those hexes?
Well, I mean, we still, how much time do we have? So we still got like 2.5 weeks before we need to get the king in a cage.
Yeah, we got 3 weeks, so.
Well, look, I'm telling you, Jim, Rim, and Tim, they got all this over here. I think I should come with you guys. I could be a lot of help. Let's do this.
Sell me more on it. What's your skill set?
Well, I can hit things really hard. I wear hard armor.
We have Lindsay already. We don't really need 6, do we?
What are you talking about? Why are you going to leave me here? I'm bored.
Do you have a horse of your own?
Yeah, I do. I got old Blanchy right over here.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Bring Garrus
I
with
don't
us.
know. Do we need him?
You know what? I think I know when I'm not wanted.
That's good because it was getting really awkward there for a bit, Keston.
All
I'm
right.
glad you figured that out.
Tell you what. I'll just stay here. And,
You're doing great. The place looks fantastic. I mean, you got replacements. You know, maybe you
you
could
want-
help Oleg out a little bit with the thatching on the roof. You know,
well, it's kind of funny because as you Oleg and Svetlana are nearby, they're kind of doing their thing. And I mean, you've talked with them and exchanged pleasantries too at this point. But as you guys tell Keston, no, we're good, you can watch as Oleg and Svetlana are kind of like, okay.
And kind of to explain Sirio's thinking behind why he doesn't want Keston, just gnawing in the back of his mind, just the things Keston was talking about with his family, like really as soon as they had met each other. So he's just suspicious of the guy in general and doesn't want him poking around learning more than he needs to know.
Right. So, yeah. So Keston Garrus is of the Garrus noble family. And Keston, I think, sort of at one point intimated that he and Sirio share some distinctive facial features. And Keston's like, you think I might be a Sertova? But Sirio's like, shit, I might be a Garrus, right? I mean, is that kind of what you're referring to?
Yeah, Furio Sertova, the Sirio's dad, was kind of
Wait a second. Are you telling me that Sirio's dad's name is Furio?
Yes.
Okay, I love that. Furio.
is his brother's name Birio?
Yeah, what's your brother's name?
1 second.
Cheerio.
You got to pull out
got
the
it.
Word doc.
Did Sirio's dad spend time in North Jersey at any point?
Wears a lot of gold chains.
Yep.
Fake tan.
Has a ponytail.
Now he has.
Baldy in the front. Ponytail. Still rocks it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sirio has two much older brothers. The eldest brother, Alfonso, and the second oldest brother, Fabio.
Fabio or
There it
Fabio?
is.
Fabio.
Fabio. I love it. I just love it so much. I cannot wait to figure out how those guys get into the mix. Keston's like, I've heard from your father, Furio. I know. And your brother, Alfonso. They're in trouble. Mighty trouble, I've heard. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so, I'm sorry. So what were you saying about Furio Sertova?
Oh, yeah. So the possibility of being related to a Garvey might be possible. I don't
Or
know.
Garrus?
Yeah, just because Dad's past is checkered, and he was kind of a ladies' man, so who knows?
Oh, I see. Interesting. So yeah, so you're chilling around Oleg's. You know, Oleg and Svetlana, meanwhile, are just doing fine. They don't have much really to offer or say to you guys right now.
You said the place is a little bit of disrepair.
I would say so. Yeah. I mean, it's been a few months now, and Oleg is just he's not getting around like he used to after kind of his ordeal at the Stag Lord's Fort.
Well, he got his ass kicked.
But they are able to provide you with hospitality, lodging for the night, food. Svetlana produces a bottle of rice ale that they imported. And she says, we've been getting into some more sophisticated products because we've seen at least some uptick in tourism from Brevoy since you brought peace to these lands. And I have to tell you, fellas, profits are off the charts.
Fantastic. What's your settlement level
Do
now?
we get a piece? Do we get a piece of that?
No, we don't have a settlement level. It's just still level 0. It's just a couple of us out here. But if you were to establish a settlement here, you would receive a free general store, according to the Kingmaker's guide that I have in front of me.
Oh, that's an option.
Let's work on the one we have now for a little bit before we go branching out too much. I mean, I don't think we have.
You guys aren't ready to franchise yet?
Yeah,
No?
I don't think so.
All right.
I suppose we could, open up a Dundee Sundries here, too.
There you go.
Yep.
Oleg's like,
Chain
what
it
are you
out.
talking about? That sounds like bringing in competition to my store.
No, you
Dundee.
No, it's just that's going to be your store.
Dundee's north and Dundee south. It's fine. It'll be okay.
It'd be like Aldi, Trader Joe's type thing.
Yeah.
Fine. So you have dinner and drinks at Oleg's. Wonderful night. You're loved by them, and you settle down for much needed rest back in that same boarding house that you stayed in many times.
Does Keston what's it?
Keston
Garrus.
Does Keston Garrus, when he's telling us about the lizard folk, tell us anything about, like, watch out, some lizard folk are extremely fast, you'll never catch them, anything like that, from his experiences with other lizard folk?
That's right.
Here's what he says. He says, the truth is, none of those lizard folk have ever purported to be as fast as Bashk Tran, God's rest his soul. I've never seen a lizard folk so fast as he. He could climb a wall and hop over it and end up where he needed to be in 10 seconds flat. I've never seen anything like it.
He was truly amazing.
Yes, he was. He was an amazing fella.
Do they wear pants?
What, the lizard folk down south of Tuskwater?
Can they keep their pants on all the time?
They, I don't know what they wear. What are you talking about? Are you guys giving some kind of inside joke? Right. So Keston talks to you about these lizard folk kind of down south. You guys experience sort of some much needed hospitality, and you wake up the next morning. What do you do?
Let's go start finishing off exploring the Greenbelt Forest area.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
By way of the Temple of the Elk, which on the map kind of looks like a guitar pick.
Yeah.
What does?
So I guess you could chart a path through the forests of the Green Belt. It takes 2 travel activities to travel through a forest hex. Or you could chart a path around the Green Belt. You know what I'm saying? I could see you doing something like this.
Yeah, I could see
Or
that.
I could see you doing something like this.
That's 4 days to get through those first 2 hexes, so, 6 days.
Or 2 days.
I would just do that.
Got 3 hexes to go through to get to 1.
Straight through.
I don't know, whatever's fastest, and I don't think we need to...
So do you like this? So do you like this route, or do you want something different?
Ooh, I like that route. That hits...
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks really good. I think we got 3 weeks, a little under 3 weeks. A day shy of 3 weeks, that's plenty of time.
Do we have the time, though, is the question. I just
I
don't want
feel
to
like
get
if we had
fun.
time to a
Reenact.
tree, we could do that.
I mean, I don't.
as well. Like
I'm
Bear
fine
Finch.
with Sirio turning into a werewolf and running through the woods.
You
That
think you
doesn't
can
bother
tie
me.
Sirio to a tree after what I described to you?
A lot of rope, a lot of chain.
Yeah, name some knots.
Slip knot,
Slip knot. My favorite knot.
can knot.
Mitchell's been practicing his knot tying.
Square, sheep bend, sheep shank, bowline, all of those on a bite.
You know, Chris is an Eagle
Figure
Scout.
8.
Chris, did you get your knot badge?
There wasn't really a knot badge, but you had to know how to tie certain knots to gain rank. And then a lot of merit badges required badges.
They wouldn't give you a badge for that, though?
You probably would today.
Probably get a badge for tying your shoes today.
All right. So you've charted this route through the Stolen Lands, ending with this lizard folk settlement, near Fort Trand. It looks to me like you're going to begin moving south. You're going to pass by your secret gold mine that you're hoping to incorporate. You're then going to travel over the rickety bridge where you fought that owlbear nearby. And then actually then into your own territory through the Fangberry Thicket, where Kritala first ingratiated himself to everybody. And then, on the morning of day 3, you find yourself transitioning then back into the forests of the Greenbelt, into an area that you've never visited before.
Fantastic. I don't remember liking the green belt when we were in here.
Yeah.
So since it's winter time, the forest, are we in deciduous or evergreen, or what's the tree situation?
It's carnivorous, right? Are the evergreens?
Yeah, with
Carnivorous.
the pine needles.
Carnivorous.
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 They're conifers.
Carnivorous.
It's carnivorous.
My full family was
getting
eaten
eaten
by
by
a
a tree?
tree in this forest, so we need to be careful.
I don't think this is still like a level 1 zone, right? Didn't we fight that Tuskgutter's lair and it took like 1 shot?
Yeah, I mean, you're not far from the Thorn River Bandit camp where you originally killed Cressel and knocked over that camp. You're not far from the Radish Patch where you first met Micmac and his friends before they got killed by all those Midflits. So you find yourselves then transitioning back into the coniferous trees. You see a deciduous tree every now and again, And, it's different this time around, though, because it's winter now. So you're kind of trudging through, some points, some pretty deep snow. It's coming up, above your ankles, up into your shins. And you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but you're probably having to lead your horses through all of this weather. I mean, does that sound reasonable? Or do you think, can you ride horses through forest, through the snow?
I mean, if there's like a path, I'm sure the horses will be fine. There'll probably be less snow on the ground in the forest than in the plains.
That's reasonable.
And horses, they don't run into trees by themselves.
All right,
so.
Screw it. You can do your horses. A series of quick yipping barks comes from an open pit in a clearing nearby.
I want a dog.
It sounds like.
These are like little dog barks.
They're like birds that sound like a bird.
Roll a nature check.
Yeah, I'm going to try to recall nature here. See what they
Perception
are.
check.
So I got a 19 plus 7. That's a 26 on my nature roll.
My roll was much lower than that.
Kurtala got a 17 for a total of 17.
Ooh.
Nice.
Mitch isn't going to talk about his roll.
Brad, should we buy you new dice at some point?
No, I just think, yeah, probably.
They'll come around. They'll come around.
They'll come around.
Dry, you look at the others and you go, Thylacine.
Ooh, what's that?
It's an extinct dog-type creature.
Is that something you put on your
native to
rash?
Alaska, that was native to Alaska, I think. Look, that's not even a joke. I think that's real.
Don't use it for more than 2 weeks. If the rash persists, call your cleric.
Yeah. Thylacines
longer
are
than 4
wolf or hyena-like marsupial carnivores.
See?
Sounds terrifying.
Kind of does.
Carnivore, or do they produce cones for their seeds?
Yeah.
Dry, you know them to be
Do
feral
they
and
have lobed
untamable.
leaves or needles?
You know that they can be vicious predators. Of course, they're not at this point much of a threat to people like you, but they're predators. And yeah, you seem to hear sort of frantic, quick yipping barks from a thylacine, and as you kind of scan the area, you see that there's a pit that's been dug down into the earth, and down at the bottom of the pit, this barking is coming from up from it.
How deep is the pit?
You approach.
Yeah.
Yeah, how deep is the pit?
How deep is the pit? It's 20 feet. It's 20 feet deep, and it's 10 foot square.
So square edges, man-made.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
Doug.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, does this look like would we think this is a trap?
Trap?
Like somebody made a trap here that these have fallen into?
Could be the start of a basement foundation.
Could be
Right,
the start
yeah,
of
I
a
mean-
basement foundation. Now you kind of approach this pit, okay, and you see a couple of things. First of all, you see that there is a bunch of branches sort of around the circumference of the pit, and then as you look down into the pit, you see that there's a bunch of branches down inside there too. You put it all together, the pit appears to have been once covered with branches, but now it's visible, and you're wondering whether this little cute little thylacine fell down in there.
And is it one that's in there?
It's just one.
And it was 10 feet deep or 20?
It's 20 feet deep, 10 foot square.
Is there like a 30-foot tree laying around?
Well, we've got rope.
We've got rope.
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to push the tree, and I don't really want to... I mean, it's not going to do any real damage to us, but I still want to have to fight to tie it to a rope.
I bet we could take some time and cut a tree down and lean it in there.
How
Yeah,
big?
just drop
How
it.
big is it? How big is the thing in the?
Is it a full-grown thylacine?
Is it a
Yeah.
puppy? It's full grown.
It's full grown.
Okay.
It's very
Have we
cute.
got
though.
anybody got any tranquilizer on him? Trank
You've
this
got the
thing?
sleep arrow.
Yeah, but I have to roll a crit. I mean, I'm not going to just plug him with arrows and hope for the best.
I just want to see you try.
He's like, yip, 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 yip. And as you look down there, you see his little ribs are showing, and his little around his haunches, you can kind of see like pelvic bones.
But we know these are like vicious and horrible, like aggressive
It's
creatures.
it's just an animal.
Kurtala's going to take some tack out of his pack and kind of throw some down there to try to see if he'll try to eat what Kurtala throws down there.
So you throw it
Try to
down
warm
there,
him up.
and the animal, and again, he kind of looks like a cross between a fox and there's kind of some feline features to it too. I mean, it's clearly a canine animal, but it's very sleek. Its hair's very short, and it's relatively small. As you throw kind of this unleavened bread down there, the animal will sniff at it, and it gives the little thylacine whine, and it kind of paws it around, but it ignores it. And you would know these things are carnivores.
Right.
It's not a vegan, dude.
I guess, do we have any meat? I wouldn't have thrown bread down there. Do we have any meat or rations of any kind that we can throw down?
You got jerky. I think it's reasonable that you would have dried meat. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'll
You throw
some of
that down there, and he's like, he eats it.
Okay, well, it eats.
All right. Well,
I like the tree idea,
guess.
or I could just like climb down a rope and grab it and throw it up.
I was going to say, Katala can just jump down there.
can you throw it up?
Yeah.
Just yeet it like a
You're gonna.
keg, like a keg.
I mean, is there any kind of like pit wrestling competitions? Do you know how to hog tie?
I don't know how to hog tie. But yeah, no, Katala will go down there. He's not scared.
Make an
Rub
athletics
some
check.
more meat on your hands.
He's warmed up. Yeah, he's so yeah, Katala will just
All right, let's tie her up to
yeah.
Katala and
No,
drop
don't even
him
try.
in.
I'll just jump. That's cool.
All right.
Okay.
He's gonna yeet.
Yeah.
He's gonna yeet himself.
All right. So, sure. So you crawl down. You climb down.
No, I want to be very clear. I jumped down.
Oh, you jump down.
Yes.
All right. So you jump down. It's a 20-foot drop. So I think by the rules of the game, unless you got some ability I don't know about, I think that you will sort of.
Yeah, I've got nestling fall, so you take no damage from falling, whatever distance you fall. So I.
Oh, okay. So you kind of end up in a roll, I suppose. I think you might still end up prone.
No, I flap my wings, so like I land on my feet.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's run it back. Start over. Okay,
Sorry.
So you jump down, and you're like,
That's right.
and you land down like Batman.
That's
And
pretty awesome.
roll an initiative check.
Oh. Well, that's not what we were doing. All right.
I know this is happening like split seconds, but Mitch is like placing bets with Dry. Like I got.
Oh, no.
I got 5 on the dog.
Whoa, you're betting against our party.
It's gonna be a total of 12.
Okay. You win initiative. I don't think we need to play the combat out traditionally because the Thylacine is not really a threat to Kritala, but it does run up to you ravenously hungry, and he's like trying to attack you. And I kind of almost picture Kritala like kind of moving around the pit, and like avoiding it and bobbing and weaving, and this animal is like desperately trying to kill you, but he's not really a threat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like it's a little kid is mad at me.
Yes.
And like coming at me, so it's just constantly dodging, and every once in a while like pushing him away until he just kind of tuckers himself out, and we can get him up at the top of the pit and get him out of here.
Are you gonna try to yeet him out of the
I don't know
hole?
that I'm gonna throw him, but I'm gonna wear him out so he's
Oh
easier
man!
to manage.
If you were to grab him by the haunches and do a spinning throw and just toss him up and out, God, that would be amazing.
That's what I was thinking. Like he lunges at you, and you just grab him by the back by his haunch and
Scratch
by his
the neck.
It's
tail.
20 feet,
You just
though.
whip him
It
out
is
of the
20
pit.
feet. That's a long.
What's your strength?
I got a +4 strength.
I mean, that's
It's realistic.
No, that's
pretty
completely
strong.
eatable.
Do a
Well, you
couple
may roll.
turns. Get some.
I mean, you gotta. It's starving, so
Right.
it doesn't really weigh a lot. I mean,
If this
its
thing
ribs are
slams into the
showing.
side of that hole and dies, it's gonna be.
All right, so from the hole, you just hear Katala yell, "Heads up! This thing's coming up!" An athletics check. That's
Yeah.
going to be a 22.
all right. Yeah. So I think I want to bring the narrative back to Sirio. Sirio, I don't know quite what you've been doing. I think maybe you're not quite near the edge of the pit, but you see this. I'm sorry, I'm just having too much fun in my own mind. You see this Thylacine come helicoptering out of the pit, spinning. And, Kritala did a good job. He only ends up about 2 feet above the surface of the ground. And the Thylacine lands with a thud, with a whoop, and then he runs off into the forest, lightning quick. Just pew, he's just out of there.
You're welcome.
And
Mitch will throw a rope down to Kritala.
Sure.
He needs it.
I'll help pull him up. Katala seems like he's pretty heavy.
that
Nice throw. That was good.
Thank you.
it does.
Nice throw.
Yeah.
We're high fiving him as he gets out of the pit.
It's been a long time since I've thrown a dog-like creature like that. So it felt good.
Right.
Felt good.
Felt good. Yeah, it just looks like this is a poorly constructed old hunter's pit. That, again, it's just another example of kind of someone just kind of leaving something out around
Landmines.
here that's not really good for.
Is there a way that we can undo this pit? I mean, it's 10 feet by 20
Yeah,
feet. Like, that's
I
a
get-
lot of earth. Like, how do we fill this in so nothing else gets hurt or trapped?
I feel like we should just leave it uncovered so people can see it.
Yeah.
It would take us probably a couple days to fill in a 20-foot hole.
We could fill. Does Mitchell have any landmines? We could just fill it with landmines. And
Yeah.
We could just blow it
Yeah,
up.
really, we just need to remove any branches that are covering parts of the hole and just cut in a staircase. Would probably be the easiest thing.
Oh, yeah, I like that idea.
can we put up?
Kind of-
Can we make some signs that say like "Beware of step"?
Whoa, the
Watch your
pit.
step.
You can totally do this. The rest of the day, yeah, you're able to kind of nullify this pit. And that is a hex that... What I like when these hexes that are meant to kind of be a little intense for level 1 parties, I like when you guys hit these at level 4 and can just toss thylacines around. Like, that's funny to me.
I'm glad they don't scale.
They
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, I guess I could scale them. Why didn't I do that? Shit, I should have scaled it.
I have no idea.
But yeah, that's really what you find here. What do you do next?
I'm sure we're tired from all that effort.
Super
so
tired. Yeah.
Camp for the night here.
Bro, I could throw Thylacines out of holes all day. Never get tired of that.
All day.
Yeah, and then we'll hexplore tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do picture, like, while we're all digging and try to making this pit safe, Crit is just kind of talking about how awesome that throw was and, like, preening around. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
You see that throw?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we're just sweating and covered in dirt. Like, yeah. Yeah, Critala, we all saw it.
He gets thrown about 10 feet farther every time Controlla tells the story.
Becomes bigger and bigger.
Exactly.
Lindsay starts writing a song about it.
And throw that thylacine all the way to Rostov.
The legend of the thylacine toss.
Exactly.
Quitala the thylacine tosser. You smell what the tosser's cooking? The tosser. That's cool, right?
No.
Tosser.
Oh, Jesus.
No, not well. It means different things in different.
I don't think that'll translate everywhere.
We do have some foreign listeners.
People from across the pond. The tosser. Oh, that's really good.
The tosser.
Completely oblivious to slang and just thinks it's an awesome nickname.
Yeah.
The tosser.
The saucy
Oh,
tosser.
that's good.
I don't want to get too far in Kurtala's head, but there's a flowchart and decision tree
Nobody
he
does.
goes through. And maybe not step 1, but it's up there in the steps is, can you throw this? And
Can you throw this?
the answer is yes, I can throw this. So he did.
And even if you can't, you fish for that nat 20.
There- yeah,
I mean,
exactly,
Come on,
yeah.
at least try once.
I want to see a chart, like one of those "Can you do this?" charts for Critala. Like, can you throw it?
It's like a hierarchy. Instead of a hierarchy
yes,
of
you need to-
needs, he's got a hierarchy
Yeah.
of actions.
I want to see this. I want to see.
I want to
this.
see the decision tree for Tiger
Yes,
Stance.
yes.
Do I
Yeah.
enter? Do I
Sure,
not?
yeah.
Can I throw it?
I think that would be a pretty interesting thing to see.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
Make it
what.
happen.
I feel like now that I'm thinking about it more, I feel like it was like an over the head backwards kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like you see the strongmen do like the keg toss over the like. There's like a huge like thing above them. They've got to take a keg and like
Yeah, that
toss it up overhead.
or what's the thing where they, do this?
Oh, like the hammer throw?
Yeah, the hammer. It's a hammer throw.
I think it would be more the overhead toss.
Sure.
Like, yeah.
Sure. You know
We've
what?
really overthought this.
I'm going to be thinking about that Thylacine toss for weeks. That's all it's going to be on my mind. Oh,
if
yeah.
we did hero points, you'd have a hero point for that toss.
Yeah, I would give you a hero point for
have a hero point.
tossing the Thylacine. Okay.
Tosser.
Dottie the tosser.
Kurtala the
Hey,
tosser.
hold on. It's bad enough you're going to call Kurtala a tosser,
Oh, yeah.
let alone Donnie a tosser.
The tosser. Okay, God. Oh, God. We got to get back on track. We have to play. We have to play a game here.
Kurtala now needs a mask.
Oh,
I'm just saying Kurtala now needs to have
that
a
might
mask.
happen at
Like
some
when we get into combat,
Fine.
Kurtala the tosser comes out.
The Kratosser.
All right, so do we have to camp, or are we clearing a hex? What do we do?
You're fine. Yeah, you find some camp. Roll, as you guys are bedding down for the night, roll a perception check.
Mitch is snoring.
24.
29.
Oh.
Kurtala also got a 24.
Whoa.
Nice roll, Sirio.
Syria.
So Mitch is over there sleeping. suit packed away next to him in a little box. But the other three guys are kind of maybe still up a little bit and talking in the firelight.
We can't get enough of the.
Yeah, you
Thylacine
just
talk.
look over and Katala's shaking his head at Dry and then doing the overhead motion, like he's trying to explain to him exactly how
it happened.
Exactly.
That conversation is probably getting older than it is actually as we're talking about it now.
Well, it's funny because as you're describing tossing the thylacine, you see that just barely illuminated by the firelight, that little thylacine is not too far away. It's kind of lurking around.
Aw.
Katala immediately jumps up and does the, here boy, clapping, trying to get him to come to him.
Ooh, roll a nature check.
Oh, that's not going to work well. 5.
Just, it's out of here.
Just, man.
Just
Yeah,
fucking
you're
go on.
like, here, boy, here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then you make the tossing motion again. Off in the woods.
They went, huh?
It's back for round 2.